Neither Damien Chazelle's Hollywood epic nor Antonio Banderas' swashbuckling kitty adventurer could take down James Cameron's sci-fi sequel. Did you hear the one about the big snowstorm of 2009 that kept James Cameron's Avatar from grossing more than $77 million its opening weekend? Well, have we ever got a story about the big winter storm of 2022, inches of snow and some extreme negative temperatures kept audiences from getting out to the theaters this weekend, which also happened to include both Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. As it turns out, the new Avatar and at least one new release did just fine, and there are still 2 full weeks of vacation left for most schools, and the warm comfort of a movie theater will continue to be an enticing option. Continued its early reign with a second straight victory at the box office. Last week we showed you that Cameron's film had the 6th best opening ever in the month of December, which is currently the most important metric to look at, given the increase of business in the back half of the month can turn even the limpest of opening weekends into 9-digit winners. The Way of Water is obviously way ahead of any word of mouth surprise like The Greatest Showman, but that remains a factor even if audiences feel it's the only spectacle out there worth braving the cold for. But the film to watch along with The Way of Water is the film ranked just above it on that all-time December list, and that is Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. In its first 7 days of release, The Way of Water had precisely 1 daily victory against Rogue One. On Tuesday the former claimed a total of $18.3 million versus the latter's $17.5 million. The other 6 days, the Rebels won the day. That meant the Star Wars film ended its first week with $221.9 million compared to Avatar's $197.6 million. The reason this is a unique situation is that Rogue One opened on the exact same day 6 years ago that Avatar did in 2022, December 16th. So it has the same Christmas Eve Saturday and Christmas Sunday that Hollywood tends to hate for skewing their more lucrative weekend numbers. Over that second weekend, Rogue One grossed $64 million through Sunday and $96.1 million from Friday to Monday. Initial estimates had The Way of Water making $56 million over the weekend and an $82 million for day. As the numbers continued to roll in, it virtually matched Rogue One's 3-day total of $64 million. However, the NA6 Marines are still below the pace of the Rebel scum, as their 11-day total is about $287.6 million compared to Rogue One's $318.1 million. Internationally, though, it has surpassed $880 million and is headed for $1 billion. Its non-domestic $601 million is the 3rd highest haul since the pandemic began, and that is with a COVID-ridden China and without a boycotted Russia. Top Gun: Maverick, $760 million, is its next target, and Spider-Man: No Way Home, $1.1 billion, after that. One more thing to not forget, Avatar: The Way of Water is pacing behind Rogue One's final domestic total of $532 million. That means Avatar may need $1.5 billion in order to achieve theatrical profit, a total achieved only 3 times before, specifically by Avengers, Endgame, Titanic, and the original Avatar. Place your bet.